change has recently been picking up major winds, although its beginnings have expanded far beyond the 21st century. The baseline of climate change is that heat rays, radiated from the sun towards the earth, heats the earth up, and is then radiated back towards space. But greenhouse gases, built up through the history of man, prevent the natural escape of heat particles and create a cloud around the earth that traps the heat and, in turn, leads to global warming and extreme atypical events such as the recent flooding in Houston and melting polar ice caps. The beginnings of global warming first appeared within the late 18th century with the start of the Industrial Revolution and have only progressed ever since. Its tracks lie in the foundations of human activity with insuperable factory occupation and increasing livestock accumulation, which have both led to the inflation of greenhouse gases such as carbon and methane in our atmosphere. More on the story right now is reporter Hai on the field.
Influx after the 1850s can be traced to the use of coal to power factories, steamboats, and produce electricity. Here we have a resident of 1841 Cincinnati coal miner, Tony. How was your experience in the Cincinnati coal mine, Mr. Tony?
One thing that is very clear and evident is the major influence of steam and smoke. Approaching the city, a dense cloud of darkness and smoke visible for some distance before a traveler reaches it, hides the city from the eyes until they are in the mist.
What do you discover was the cause of such pollution, and can you describe the conditions in the city?
The main use of coal that produces half the cloud is in the home. The only fuel in the place, so much it almost snows soot. Mixing with the very loud noise from the manufacturing district and the dirtiness of the living quarters makes it very unhealthy to live there. This city demonstrates the condition of various other cities experience the same condition. Also, you won't see any children on the streets usually. They are used for child labor. We needed them to work also for our money, but many of them are affected by the pollution, so they are also in poor health.
Thank you for your time, Mr. Tony.
You're welcome, Joe.
Thank you, Hai. With the rise of environmental issues such as climate change, public opinions have grown to become increasingly involved. One example of public involvement is the 1970s movement revolving around the growing dissent towards cataclysmic changes in the environment. Now to Christian reporting on the field.
This is field reporter Christian Asensio, and I'm here with
Tony?
Tony. What organization are you representing today?
Well, I'm with the Greenpeace organization.
Why was the Greenpeace organization formed?
Well, what we wanted to do was to stop the nuclear testing in Alaska.
Why is that a problem?
With all the nuclear tests going on, it's going to hurt our environment and cause climate changes. For example, I want this plant to keep looking like that plant and not to become this with the nuclear testing.
Okay, Tony, one last question. What initiatives does the Greenpeace organization plan for the future?
Well, from this point on, we're going to tackle on the issues of industrial waste and pollution. What we want to do is keep our earth green and at peace. Greenpeace.
Well, thank you, Tony. That has been Christian Asensio reporting on the environmental movement. Back to you, Denise.
Thank you, Christian. And that concludes our report for environmental issues today.
Did you think that your feet had been bound by what gravity brings to the ground? Did you feel you were tricked by the future you